Hello everyone, this is Scarzig, and welcome to another Runeterra video. As many of you have seen, Frostbite is taking the meta by storm, but for those of you who have been visiting this stream regularly, you know that your boy never stopped playing it. So here is my take on the list, and let's show you some sweet gameplay with Frostbite. So this deck has been cropping up a little bit more too, where those Noxus decks that would normally run the Harrowing are now suddenly running the running Freljord, usually for like Fury of the North or something. They use it to trade up a little bit better, and they are also trying to, just push through damage with their Overwhelm in Fury of the North. So for this hand, I do like Braum in this matchup. It's just that without any 1 or 2 drops guaranteed to me, it's a very greedy keep. Like if I had a 1 drop or a 2 drop in hand already, I would probably keep the Braum. But since I'm kind of looking, I think it's important to mulligan the Braum as well. That is a very good keep. What's nice is that we're attacking first. So, don't need to worry about getting that turn 1 smork going on. Omen Hawk isn't a very threatening 1-drop, so if they just open attack and I take 1 damage, I'm fine with that. And then, because they're very incentivized to develop, I can simply do this. We play the Iceveil Archer to counter this entire play, because we Frostbite the Omen Hawk, and that means they don't want to attack with the Crimson Disciple into my 3-1. So now we just chill. We're going to develop the Trapper here, of course. Just play on curve, 3 mana, 3/3, and we want to get this Yeti out as soon as possible. The 1 mana 5/5 is fantastic tempo for us. Ballista is pretty good. Now, they don't have any mana, so I could attack in. Here's the thing, they don't have any mana, so I don't worry about Transfusion. They're just going to fully trade with the Iron Ballista. I still have threat of the 3/1 going into the 2/3. My opponent could have chump blocked with the Omen Hawk, and by setting the Trapper down to be a 3/2, then the Ballista has a little bit more damage to push through on their offensive turn. But I do like that they blocked with the Ballista there for sure. We've got Harsh Winds to keep our opponent from hitting us too hard, but I would really like to get on the board a little bit more. This is rough. The Basilisk with the Omen Hawk buff threatens a lot of damage. I don't have mana for Harsh Winds. I think my play is actually to summon Ashe here, so I can trade up into the Basilisk Rider. If I had 1 more mana, then I'd probably do Sentry with Fury of the North. I'm going to play the Ashe. I'm still going to take a pretty heavy chunk from the Basilisk Rider. But, it's 4-drop trading into 4-drop, so I guess I can't be too mad. My opponent's just been playing on curve, so I haven't been under threat of Transfusion or anything like that, so that's actually very helpful. And because they don't have the Harrowing for that last Hail Mary play to get a lot of value and potential just threat from nothing, I just need to keep value trading, just need to keep playing defensively, and we will even out eventually. I can't even realistically attack because of the Omen Hawk, right? I need to keep the Iceveil Archer up. I could attack with the Sentry. Well, no, I can't attack with the Sentry either because of the Crimson Disciple. These Omen Hawks are hitting some really good targets, I'm not gonna lie. We're just gonna have to pass. We do now have plenty of mana for our Harsh Winds, so we can do some pretty strong trades here. If my opponent doesn't open attack, they get this Yeti down. So we've got this. Fury of the North is very likely. I wonder if this is better. So I definitely want to Harsh Winds this. Yeah, I'm going to Harsh Winds like that. If they have Transfusion, they're likely to Transfusion off of the Crimson Disciple onto the Spider. If they transfusion off of something onto the Crimson Disciple in order to survive this trade, I think I'm okay with that. They get the 2 damage either way, but I think this translates to a little bit more damage in the long run by going off and then on, because they still get their 3 damage here and then plus the 2 damage by surviving the trade. But we did prevent a big chunk of damage from the Basilisk Rider, and it was only a matter of time before that transfusion hit. Ooh, it's the grenade is not good. Oh my god, well-timed Tavern Keeper. We're going to play that right now. Then we've got Assessor to draw 1 more. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Assessor, get more options. The trades aren't too good for me right now unless I have the Harsh Winds. So we'll just do another Harsh Winds play. Braum is pretty decent too. Now I am concerned about another transfusion. Yeah, they're chickening out. These 4 attack units kind of throw that away. I think it's still block Harsh Winds rather than Fury of the North. We just block like this. If they have a bunch of buffs for the Basilisk Rider, it's still going to be hard to cut through the Yeti. And I think we can get away with playing Braum. I think you could argue for either line of play, either playing the Braum or the Avarosan Sentry. But I think that Braum results in a stronger open attack. Now that we've got that Basilisk Rider gone, we can really do some work. This is a bit spooky because of transfusion, so it might be best to pull like this. Transfusion is the same difference where they transfusion here and onto here. So this is probably the best line for me. If I take this line, then I don't want this trade to happen, so I pull you back. I could throw out the 2-1 because I do have Fury of the North to sort of bait my opponent if they're trying to make a good trade like that. But Fury of the North I think is going to be a little bit better for an insurance policy on Braum. I don't want that 2 forked attack to come through where I'm forced to take 1 bad trade and do another. Alright, we're almost there. Now this is still pretty frightening because we have a really strong board. We just have to not get burned out. At this point, the buff from the Omen Hawk matters very little. I want to get this into play so I can maybe get some card draw going. So my opponent's all in. They're probably hoping to draw like Decimates or something, or Fury of the North. So I'm going to block the Crimson Disciple with as much as I can. Wow, Ancient Yeti. Okay. 2-1-1-1. Let's see. You block there, you block there. You block there, you block there. Yeah, we don't have to play anything yet because the stuff we have on board trades very well into my opponent. They still need to swing in with these Saboteurs, of course. But we get to do this. So we draw 2 more cards. We have more options for post-combat development. We would really like to see Ashe here because of the double Harsh Winds that we did earlier. She's like pretty much leveled. Sure, we're going to take advantage of the Culling Strike now to get rid of this Crimson Disciple. That way there's no burst shenanigans. And I think, now this is a weird thing, right, where I don't think I want to play the Trapper because I would rather get something else from my deck, if that makes sense. From a position like this, I don't want the Yeti to put me further away from drawing a Tavern Keeper or potentially Ashe, I think, here, because I want to close out the game pretty soon. So we've got just some nice threat here. Snipe that. And we're threatening 10, 15, 16 damage exactly. This is going to be a close one. This is going to be very close. We got to use our beefiest dude. Fury of the North. Did they get theirs? It's kind of... I feel like they... So now's the chance for us to... I wonder what this spell is. Fervor? No, they would have done it. Oh, it's just a precious pet. Okay. So as long as they don't top deck Fervor, then we're good. And so... I want to not play the Trapper because I want to draw Tavern Keeper to play around Fervor. If I Tavern Keeper, it plays around Fervor, but if I were to open attack, then it would play around Decimate. So at this point, we're just, you know, kind of just praying. I suppose that by not playing the Trappers, it increases the chances of us drawing Culling Strike. That lets us play around Fervor. That's crazy. That game is very close. Ezreal Twisted Fate, the main thing about this deck is they can kill you if you draw really poorly, and then they just play Riptide Rex. That's really the only thing that you need to avoid, in my experience. We can, if we want to try to maybe get our hands on Culling Strike, if they play Ezreal out super early on like round 3. Now, they don't have mana for, like, Pilfer or anything. And at the same time, cashing in the Omen Hawk means that I would get some value out of it now before it dies to Parley, or Mystic Shot, or Make It Rain, or something. I'm just thinking of what the value of saving this 1-1, because the Avarosan Sentry is probably going to get cleaned up by Make It Rain anyway. I think it's best. In matchups like this where you know your opponent has a lot of removal, it's best to just cash in your tiny dudes when you can. Like here, see, I play Avarosan Sentry. If they've got Make It Rain, then they're spending their turn to just set up 2 damage. So we're going to attack now. And they get a nice open attack here. But again, we're just trying to not get cleaned up by, you know, Mystic Shot, Make It Rain, Thermo, Parley. Ooh, they don't go for the... So the fact they didn't go for the open attack, they know that because I can only play one thing, that they have to play, that they can play another thing, and I'd only be able to block one. So I think I'm actually going to go for the Avarosan Trapper here. Like, if I play Sentry, they could Mystic, and then I take the full. But if I play Trapper, then I can block the 3-2. And then they can just... oh, wait, no, Pilfer Goods got nerfed. I am so just traumatized from that card. So we're doing good. Yeah, we're doing just fine. Tavern Keeper's not a bad play. Again, a heftier body. We lose out on 1 point of healing, but this deck isn't super aggressive, so you don't value getting maximum Tavern Keeper value. We just want a nice body and play to get back onto board. If I were my opponent there, I think I might have gone for Gold Card. They might have Mystic Shot. But, you know, we're just forcing. It's very... Yeah, Thermo Beam is actually really good for us as a choice against the opponent. They're still only representing 2 damage. And Thermo is the way that they get rid of some of our bigger bodies here. Like if I just drop Hearthguard on curve, for example. Excellent. Reckoning's pretty strong. I'm going to play the Yeti first. I love, like, the pressure that the Yeti represents because you can just play one, see what happens, see how your opponent reacts. I kind of like this Reckoning because then I could punch through 11 damage. Reckoning doesn't get much better than this from this point on. They're going to start playing like Riptide Rex. You'd only really like Reckoning to maybe hit an Ezreal. Yeah, I'll do it. Also keeps Twisted Fate from leveling up, which is something that doesn't happen very often and isn't something the deck is looking to do, but will definitely give you a lot of problems if it happens. And we also want to try to get as much board dominance as we can heading into the next couple turns, because they've got Warning Shot, Riptide Rex on 8. Like, Riptide Rex, double Riptide Rex is so hard to come back from onto the board. Yep, and there's Ezreal. The Mystic Shot doesn't do a whole lot, so I don't think I need to worry about harsh winds. Brutal Steel, wow. I like it. Might as well. Prevents another target for Ezreal leveling up. Lets us develop this Avarosan Sentry pretty safely. Now, next round, we're on 8 mana then. So, we have to open attack. We can't get greedy. They get punished by Warning Shot, Riptide Rex. Wow, lucky, lucky. The Make It Rain hitting over here. We still have pretty good threat on board, so. They have to sacrifice both. Now they did steal one card from me. I'm gonna try to go for the lethal here, I think. The one card they stole could have been a Harsh Winds. Warning Shot, Pilfered Goods, they're looking for something. And they didn't get it. Whew. Yeah, honestly, I think we ended the game right when things were going to go really south for us. Ooh, Sejuani Ezreal. Now, you typically would see, you know, Sejuani Teemo for a while. So we want to, I think the trick here is going to be mulligan for, we always keep Avarosan Trapper. It's such an insane power card. But I think we want to try to get Culling Strike to answer Starlit Seer. Because if they get like early Starlit Seer into, you know, a gigantic Ezreal coming out of the deck, then we kind of just get blown up. Cheeky turn 1 Omen Hawk. We get 1 tick of progress on Sejuani. Not too shabby. That's very nice when Assessor gets buffed. I'm still going to take this chump block here. We're sort of in the same situation as last game, where our 1 HP things are very, very likely to be removed. So just try to prevent procs on the enemy Sejuani, for example. Yeah, 4 mana Thermo is fine. We'll take that open attack gladly. So, they used Thermogenic Beam already. Playing the Ashe here is still pretty frightening. I think I'm just going to play the other Trapper. They burn 4. So no Starlit Seer coming down, so it's not that kind of deck. Kato the Arm is kind of exciting. Very likely that deck runs Harsh Winds. I like Kato. I like Kato. It gives us 2 prongs of damage. And if they do like Thermo, and I think that's fine. Like if we attack in, usually they block and then maybe Mystic to finish off the Kato, but then we swing for 6. They float, so tells me probably Harsh Winds, but this... When you're going up against a deck that has a lot of defensive options, sometimes you just need to take really reckless attacks to get those resources out of them, right? Because sometimes they don't have them and it's a bluff. And it's like, if I'm under pressure from Harsh Winds forever, right, for the whole game, that's weird. I think you take the 6 and you get the value trade. But nope, the block into Mystic that we predicted actually went through. Okay. Okay. That makes more sense then. I was going to say, I think he would take the 3 the free trade into the 3/3, but you want to get Kato off of the board because it's repeatable threat. And the current mixture I'm running in the deck is 2 Hearthguard, 1 Kato, because I do sometimes value the... Ooh. Yeah, let's counter that with our own Sejuani. I think this is where we just lay it on thick, because we've got Yeti Assessor.
These stories were true.
Yeah, they know they're in for it. Oh, fat Assessor. Yes, indeed. And we've got Culling Strike for Ezreal. Heavens to... Ooh, actually, I can't really commit the Culling Strike like that because of Fury of the North. We'll see. We'll attack first. Let them Fury of the North to like uptrade into my Sejuani or something, and then we'll Culling Strike the Ezreal. Oh my. Their hand must be really bad. Well, this is a lot of damage coming through. We've also got Elixir of Iron here onto this Yeti. Superb. I wonder if this was a Starlit Seer deck and they just got super unlucky. Might just be generally control. Okie doke. Their Sejuani's nowhere near leveling up, so we don't have to worry about any shenanigans like that. I've been playing very, very scared around developing my Ashe. Oh my god, we can do another Assessor, draw 3 more cards. The Assessor chains are what make this deck feel really unfair. Most games that you would probably lose, you'll win just by raw card draw. Ooh, 0 mana Yeti. Okay. For a second, I was like, okay. Amazing. This is really disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. So we can just go ham here with attack plus Brittle Steel. Ashe is not close enough to leveling up. If we really, really wanted to, we could go Harsh Winds, because you can stack Frostbites on still frostbitten units. But yeah, see, they've got their own Harsh Winds and other things. So even if we went for the Harsh Winds, prevented them from blocking, very unlikely for us to get the lethal. Gotcha. Yeah, that's too bad. But we've got the second Ashe in hand. Big shout out to just like oodles of card draw coming through. And yeah, we can play a Hearthguard here. We've got a lot of room to work. And yeah, I definitely feel for my opponent. Shout out to them for doing some experimentation, but this is a lot. And I'm so far ahead on board, like, I don't need to, like, do a lot. Leveled up Ezreal coming down. I think this is a Reckoning. They don't have a lot of mana to deal a ton of damage with Ezreal. And I have multiple 5 attack things in play, so there's no way for them to remove. It's always risky when you only have one 5 attack thing to trigger your Reckoning that they potentially can kill with, you know, with a removal spell. Yeah, like this is a perfect example of if the Yeti was the only 5 drop that I had, 5 attack unit, I mean to say, to proc Reckoning, and they just kill it, then Reckoning fizzles. But they're just gonna get a little bit of damage there. Wipe their board, and we still have plenty of mana to develop. I'm gonna play Sentry here. It throws a really good trade up to the 5/1, but of course they aren't gonna swing in here. They have no mana, so we can play our second Ashe very safely. And we can just do... I think this is appropriate to just Harsh Winds and attack. Keep them from blocking. Especially now with the Ezreal down. We don't have to save the Harsh Winds to prevent Ezreal from hitting our Nexus. And we've got Culling Strike in hand, so this is fantastic. I think this is where we're just going to go through and end the game. Yep, and there's a surrender. Whew. So that game was definitely just carried by Trapper and Assessor. Alright, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, I do stream on Twitch every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If you'd like to see more gameplay, ask me more advice live, or if you do have any questions about the list or about your particular take on the metagame, then just leave it in the comments below, and I will get to you for sure. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.